I am here today to provide some extremely crucial information with those of you who are holders of XRP. It is connected to Trump in a way that is unfathomable. His statements are quite significant, and I have to admit that if they are accurate, it will be the most insane bull run I've ever been a part of. He is stating some pretty big things. Also, you should know that I haven't been very active in the market during the 3 bull runs that have occurred in the past, so the significance of this is amplified when one considers how insane things were in the year 2021. It was a huge gain for both cryptocurrency and technology stocks, and if you guys were around back then, you would have witnessed it. Nevertheless, based on what I am observing at the moment, I believe that there is a very good probability that this bull run will be much more insane. The reason for this is the emergence of artificial intelligence and how it is connected to Bitcoin, as well as the urgent need that the entire world is experiencing right now for a method of storing their money that is secure, robust, appropriate, and equitable. Things are about to get really insane. Why do I have that opinion? Okay, let's begin with this, shall we? It's my guess that you guys can't wait to find out what's going on. To begin, I would like to discuss something that President Trump mentioned today. It is his opinion that the interest rate ought to be 1%. At this point, I would like to convey to everyone who is watching this video that President Trump has been exerting a great deal of effort to remove the current chair, Jerome Powell, and replace him with a person who will bring down interest rates. Furthermore, Trump is exerting a great deal of effort in order to ensure that the governors of the Federal Reserve are replaced. That was something that he had accomplished in the past. Several statements that he has made give the impression that he is going to do that again very soon. It is in this manner that the Federal Reserve operates. In the event if the majority of members of the Federal Reserve choose to reduce interest rates, then those rates will be reduced. Regarding the current situation, I believe that we are getting close to 4 or 3 out of 6 or 4 out of 8 people who are in favor of lowering rates. Despite the fact that Jerome Powell is still the head of the Federal Reserve, we are getting very close to the time where we will be able to truly cut interest rates. In the event that Trump decides to replace him with another somebody, the charges will immediately decrease if that individual also desires to reduce the rates. There is a possibility that the rates will not decrease until May of 2026, which would be the worst possible outcome. Jerome Powell's term will officially come to an end at that point, and Trump will be able to replace him in the typical manner. However, this is only the case if we do not have another governor of the Federal Reserve who is interested in lowering interest rates, which I believe is extremely likely to occur right now. Not only that, but that is only if Jerome Powell does not quit before May, which I also believe is likely because Trump is suing him and watching everything he does, which is becoming a very stressful job that I do not believe is worth the money that he is making, so we will have to wait and see what happens. However, for the time being, the markets are highly thrilled. I was present when something took place in the year 2021. Nevertheless, I believe that this is only the beginning. One coin of Ethereum has just reached $4,700. Levi, you might be wondering about this right now. What exactly is the relevance of any of those to XRP exactly? Yes, that is a very interesting question. That is in a video that was uploaded 2 or 3 videos ago. I began by discussing the Bitcoin season, then moved on to the Ethereum season, and then addressed the big cap season. To put it simply, everyone. This is the season for Ethereum, and I believe that the price will reach its highest point somewhere during the next 4 months. When Ethereum reaches its highest point, it is highly probable that XRP will do the same thing not long after. Therefore, it must only occur in cycles. Is that correct? This is also contributing to the fact that the price of XRP is now experiencing some excellent rise. It is possible that it is not as widespread as Ethereum, but it is coming in waves. When it comes to Ethereum and XRP, changes will occur in waves. There is no other way to put it. The value of XRP has officially increased for the day, despite the fact that it is not a significant increase. When you consider it in comparison to other things such as Solana and Ethereum, which are doing quite well, this becomes especially apparent, but I don't believe it will be too much longer before XRP is able to provide a great deal about the movement of its price. However, I also want to let you know that XRP just experienced a significant increase in value as a result of the conclusion of the lawsuit. Then, due to this reason, it is likely that it has not seen as much green today. However, it did see a lot of green in the days prior when we received wonderful news and stores were buying like crazy during those days. It's a very encouraging indicator. On Ethereum and Solana, there is a significant amount of trade taking place between different institutions. Considering that retail investors are concerned about losing their money on XRP, it is possible that they will recycle the profits that they are currently receiving. But before we go any further, let's take a look at what transpires. Another element that I believe to be very essential is the revenue generated by tariffs. With a record-breaking $29.6 billion in revenue in just 1 month, the United States tariff revenue has increased by more than 300% in the month of July 2025. If the current trajectory continues, tariffs have the potential to generate more than $350 billion annually. This is a pretty substantial sum of money. After conducting some research, I came to the conclusion that the amount of money that the United States government receives annually from the corporate income tax is lower than this number. Consequently, this indicates that tariffs have the potential to bring in more revenue than the company income tax in the largest economy in the world. Consequently, it is true that they are spending a great deal more, even if Trump is able to reduce spending, which I will do right now. On the other hand, if you are able to reduce your expenditure, they will be able to do the same, which will result in lower interest rates on loans. When it comes to lowering income taxes in the United States, they now have all of the money they require. If you wanted to, you could even get rid of them entirely while continuing to raise taxes. People living in the United States would benefit tremendously from this. For people that conduct business with the United States of America, this would be wonderful. Nevertheless, it would be bad for them because they would be required to pay a significant portion of those expenditures. I am blown away. Moreover, it demonstrates that customs can be utilized as an alternative to income tax. There is logic behind it. That is completely insane. Take a look at this graphic, which illustrates the growth that occurred in the month of July. That is such a fantastic thing. It is also clear that the amount of money spent on capital expenditures is skyrocketing. For the very first time in the history of artificial intelligence, the companies who spend the most money on it have a capital expenditure to sales ratio that is greater than 18%. A graph is shown here. Levi, what is the relationship between the money that artificial intelligence businesses and technology corporations spend and cryptocurrency? In that case, it is everything. Currently, both private businesses and the government of the United States are spending and bringing in new amounts of money. Consequently, this indicates that productivity is at an all-time high at the moment. That is incredibly cool to see. A very positive indication that the economy is doing very well is that this is the case. Considerable sums of money are being spent. It is just incredible how much money is flowing in. The fact that people are investing money in the future indicates that they have a great deal of confidence in the future, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency. This is just excellent material. In light of this, when I look at XRP right now, I think to myself, wow, this is a great time to accumulate. In any case, I am of the opinion that the current moment is an excellent time to purchase XRP. Note that this is not advice on finances. This price makes me think, if everything that is being said in the news right now comes true, interest rates will drop to 1%, which is a statement that I make when I see this price. Taking into consideration what is occurring in Europe, that seems to be a reasonably good guess. That is exactly what is taking place in China, isn't it? We will have exchange-traded funds, ETFs, for XRP and a great deal more if this occurs. A significant amount of money pours into this market, and banks continue to buy. XRP at $20 feels like a reasonable price to pay, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. I will continue to keep a close check on everything. I will keep you updated on the situation regarding that. In addition, if you are interested in viewing my trades, which are now performing exceptionally well in Crypto Crusaders, please let me know. It is completely free to sign up. A series of steps must be carried out in order. Click on the link that is provided below. For all you guys, it really is that easy. Yes, all you need to do is sign up, and I'll be sure to catch you on Telegram, Discord, and all the other wonderful platforms.